Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. And of course, we've all been waiting for this bombshell book, which basically is a true revelation. And it's going to be very enlightening for the sugars to find out the true extent of Meghan Markle's lies. So, Tom Bower has basically put together a tell-all book that examines the rift between the Sussexes and the royals, and he's released exclusive extracts to Vanity Fair magazine, and this has been picked up by the Times. So I like to cover the Times. I like to read it in my personal downtime when I have a spare minute, and I just found this extract so juicy that it really does demonstrate how calculated Meghan Markle was, and it also demonstrates how disrespectful she was from the beginning of her relationship with Harry. So I'm going to read this article and then I'm going to drop my thoughts. Once, if you're not really into long articles like this, I would say avoid this video. Jane Sarkin, Vanity Fair's feature editor, pitched to Graydon Carter, the magazine's editor-in-chief, that Meghan should be offered not only an interview but also a guarantee to feature on the front cover. Carter, famed as a man ahead of the curve, had never even heard of Meghan or even Suits. Nevertheless, he was persuaded that Harry's latest girlfriend was destined to change the royal family for good. The interview would appear in September 2017 issue. When the call came, Meghan was ecstatic. The messenger was Kayleigh Thomas, a partner at Sunshine Sachs, her LA public relations agency. After the agency's years of struggle to get Meghan noticed, Vanity Fair's approach proved that her relationship with Harry was indeed priceless. For Meghan, the news was electrifying. Thousands of Hollywood wannabes she knew had begged Carter for Vanity Fair's recognition. Getting the cover photo was the ultimate prize. The amazing bonus was the magazine's offer that Peter Lindbergh, the famous German fashion photographer, would spend a day with Meghan in a London studio. Living with Harry had already transformed her life. The feature could even prompt Harry to announce their engagement, delayed according to Harry until the Queen's formal approval on her return from Balmoral in the autumn. Harry had proposed to Meghan in Notting Cottage one evening while she cooked roast chicken. She could hardly wait to say yes. Harry gave her a ring that he had commissioned with two of Diana's diamonds set in yellow Botswana gold. He was particularly proud of his design. Meghan did not conceal her excitement, even though it would seem she was secretly determined to have it redesigned as soon as possible. Harry next called her father, Thomas Markle, asking for his approval. "Yes, so long as you don't raise your hand against her," said Mr. Markle. In less than 5 minutes, the conversation was over. Meghan was sworn to secrecy. The engagement was unknown to Thomas Morgan, as she gave a careful response to Vanity Fair. Of course, Meghan would be delighted, but she doesn't want a piece about her. It should represent her as a major actor and especially as an activist and philanthropist. So I'm just going to stop there. Meghan Markle actually staged quite a lot of philanthropic work out in South Africa in order to validate and make herself look like this do-gooder feminist humanitarian, but it was actually really staged and all fake in light of her engagement to Harry. So let's get back into the article. The interview would introduce Meghan to the world, and Thomas Morgan added the peg for it should emphasize the 100th episode of Suits. Harry, she revealed, had only agreed to the article because, as Meghan declared, the producers wanted to celebrate Suits' centenary. Sam Kashner, a long-standing contributing editor at the magazine, was assigned to the interview. Known for his high-profile cover stories about Jennifer Lawrence, Nicole Kidman, Kashner had previously lived in Toronto. "I don't know who this woman is," Kashner told his editor before flying to Toronto in late June. Contrary to Omid Scooby's assertion that Meghan wanted to tell the world I'm in love and did the interview with Harry's blessing, Kashner arrived at Meghan's home and was told that his interviewee was under strict orders from both Harry and Thomas Morgan. Aware that Diana and Sarah Ferguson had destroyed themselves in interviews, Harry had ordered Meghan to maintain a tight-lipped silence about sensitive subjects, Donald Trump, race, their relationship, and especially himself. He was not to be mentioned. At 12:30, Kashner watched Meghan prepare lunch in a tiny kitchen. The local market, she said, sold wonderful quiche, goat's cheese, vegetables, and breads. I baked a cake, she added, as she darted in and out, pummeling him with questions about his school, marriage, and work. Kashner began to sense a reversal of roles. So, of course, we know that Meghan Markle likes to control the narrative. She's very manipulative in that way, in getting what she wants, getting people to trust her, and getting them stripped down and vulnerable and basically bare in front of her so that she can mold them into her agenda. Looking around, Kashner noticed that the kitchen walls were covered with photos of herself, and the books piled on the coffee table were picture guides and history books of London. Only the A to Z of London streets was missing. He thought uncertain whether she had actually read any of the books about Britain. Even before they sat down to eat, Kashner felt uneasy. Both knew that a lot was riding on the interview, and both understood that the critical issue of Harry had been vetoed. Meghan spoke. He realised, knowing that she had the winning ticket, but avoiding giving an impression of triumphalism. Meghan spoke about my speech to the United Nations and her success as an 11-year-old against Procter & Gamble. As a child, Meghan had written to the company's chairman and Hillary Clinton, and we know that she got that snippet of coverage as a child. It then goes on to elaborate a little bit about that. Kashner could not know that Thomas Markle insisted that the studio visit was her Friday treat. This, of course, is her relaying her childhood to Kashner. So it gets to a point whereby Kashner says, "Tell me about Harry." Not expecting an answer, she said, "We're a couple, we're in love." Meghan replied into the recording device. Clearly prepared, she balked when asked, "What does love mean?" Instead, she asked Kashner about his marriage. Eventually, she uttered, "I'm sure there will be a time when we will have to come forward and present ourselves and have stories to tell. But I hope what people will understand is that this is our time. This is for us. It's a part of what makes it so special that it's just ours. But we are happy. I love a great love story." Bullseye. Kashner was quietly elated, she added, "I've never defined myself by my relationship." She was an independent woman who would not be defined by her relationship with Harry, and she's done everything but be defined by her relationship with Harry. Over the next few days, Kashner called those who Meghan had recommended as her friends. Tennis player Serena Williams denied that she even was Meghan's friend, but just an acquaintance. Kashner's unease grew. Soon after he had returned to New York, Meghan sent him spices from the market. Meghan's snow job, he decided. The photo shoot on a London rooftop, Lindbergh reported, was a delight. Despite Meghan's refusal to look sexy, a standard white shirt and tulle ball gown she believed would win palace approval. Instead, the milestone endangered a myth. Sunshine Sachs had demanded that the magazine satisfy Meghan's requirements that she be presented as a philanthropist and activist without considering one problem. Vanity Fair's unscrupulous researchers could find no evidence of her global philanthropy and activism. Hollywood philanthropy is PR philanthropy. Reading Kashner's completed interview, Vanity Fair editor knew the article was a huge cop for the magazine. The familiar and well-rehearsed profile gush about the dilemma of ticking the race box at school, the mixed race dolls, and the LA riots was good colour. But her revelation was sensational. Where a couple were in love was guaranteed front page headlines. Meghan's interview took the royal family into uncharted waters. They, of course, were shocked. Meghan was celebrating her 36th birthday with Harry in Botswana. Meghan had brought with her a copy of Pride, a small circulation magazine aimed at mixed race and Black Britons. The magazine featured an interview with her. She described her fight against racial prejudice and the importance of female empowerment as a woman of colour. She told the magazine she felt an obligation to speak about being half black. Vanity Fair, she imagined, would blast her same message across the globe. So let me just stop there. Meghan Markle, of course, had been ticking the Caucasian box for a long time as a child. She had lived her life basically as a white woman in Hollywood for an extremely long time. Not knocking that, that's at the time how she felt about it. But she needed to build this persona, as you can see, and it all started upon meeting and dating Harry. Building herself out as a feminist, a philanthropist, as a woman who's proud of her Black heritage when she'd done nothing but suppress it. She realized through her PR agency and her PR team, this was headline news. This was the thing that was going to get her spoken about. This was the thing that was going to get everyone talking. She, of course, drummed up and amped up her relationship with Serena Williams, which was nothing more than just an acquaintance, which is everything that we always kind of assumed and thought. Meghan Markle essentially has been revealed by Tom Bower in this extract from his book that she is a fake. So it continues on. Within hours, Meghan called Ken Sunshine and Thomas Morgan hysterically. She described Buckingham Palace's fury at Wild about Harry. Sunshine Sachs said Meghan should have ensured that her comments about Harry were removed. Why wasn't the focus on her philanthropy and activism? Now, of course, she immediately went against Harry's advice, which was to not really balk or talk about their relationship. And of course, they ran with the major story, which was she's just wild about Harry, which essentially took Buckingham Palace by storm, and it enraged the British media. She essentially had used her relationship to promote herself. The Hollywoodization of the royal family had sealed Meghan's fate as Harry's fiance. Kashner, of course, was puzzled when she was upset, and how could she hate a blatant puff piece? Then her feelings were explained. Of course, she hated the title Wild About Harry because she was promoting her philanthropy, allegedly. She was equally furious that her battle with P&G was omitted. Kashner resisted revealing that Vanity Fair's fact checkers had raised questions about its accuracy after consulting P&G and advertising historians. Allegedly, she then went on to complain that she wasn't presented in the way that she had exactly wanted. But of course, we know that with Meghan, she says one thing and she does another. As her anger subsided, Meghan reconsidered her fate. The producers of Suits were awestruck that an actress from their series with a mere 1.5 million viewers had made Vanity Fair's cover. The only disappointment was that the royal relationship did not improve the ratings. On the positive side, Harry remained utterly loyal. And then it concludes with reversing the narrative was impossible. Unlike the other young women who married into the Windsors, it seems Meghan would not remain silent. In London, Harry's family and their advisors were subdued. This was not an issue, as some would later assert, about the palace's handling or mismanagement of Meghan. Nothing could be done. The besotted prince ignored the warnings that Meghan spelled trouble for the palace. And that's the conclusion of the excerpt from his book. I'm very excited about this book, which is going to be dropping on the 21st of July in a few days now, and I'm definitely going to be gobbling this up. But you can actually see the way in which she immediately started betraying Harry, betraying his trust, and disrespecting the firm. It was immediate. It was done straight away. So this is a bit of a longer video than what I normally would do. So I'm going to conclude it here, guys. There you have it. Meghan Markle. She was an attention-seeking person who was chasing clout from the very beginning. She couldn't wait to pretty much use Harry to bolster her name. She had nothing much going on. Suits wasn't a major series, and she really wasn't hot. With all that being said, guys, I'll be back with another video. Bye, guys.